Hi guys. Alright, so maybe you've seen our video on how much we like our Instant Pot. Maybe you saw the video that we made some hard-boiled eggs on. And maybe you've heard us talk about the fact that I make a lot of yogurt in the Instant Pot. So I figured we needed some yogurt. I may as well shoot a little video, show you how it's done. Really a simple process. So to begin with, I take a gallon of milk and I pour it in the Instant Pot. Earth shattering here. Now sometimes if we're low on milk for cereal or something, or for drinking, I might make a little less than a gallon. So I pour the milk in. Let me grab my lid. Put the lid on. Make sure it's set to venting. You don't want to do pressure cooking at this point. You just want to go to venting. We're going to hit yogurt. We're going to adjust it until it says boil. And we're going to let it heat the milk up to 180 degrees. And then once it hits 180 degrees, we're going to let the milk cool down to 105 degrees. And then I'm going to put some yogurt that we already made with the Instant Pot, but I always save a little bit at the end. And I'm going to put a tablespoon of that yogurt with live cultures in the milk and put it back in the Instant Pot. But for right now, we're going to let this heat up to 180 degrees, and then I'll be back. Alright, so this has been going for a while, so let's check and see what the temperature's up to now. Actually, I kind of know what it's up to because I stir it periodically, just so the heating element's down at the bottom, and I want to stir the milk up to make sure it doesn't scald on the bottom. So I kind of know it's already up to temperature. But I use one of these ThermoPro instant read thermometers. And there we are, 181 degrees. So I've read some people say that you want to bring it to 180 degrees and let it remain at 180 degrees for even up to a half an hour. But I've done it, let it sit at 180 degrees for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then cool it off. And I've never noticed any difference of just taking it to 180 and then cooling it off or letting it sit for longer periods at 180. So you can play with it. If you're like me, you'll try different things. But for me, I run it to 180 degrees. I take it out. I take it out of the Instant Pot. Turn that off. I put it in some cold water in the sink and let it sit until it gets down to 110 degrees. Now you can let this just sit on a trivet on the counter, let it cool off if you want to. You can put it in a sink of cold water like I do. I've even added ice to the water to help it cool off faster, but it's not a big deal. So I'll come back when it cools off to 110 degrees and we'll do the next step. Okay, I think the milk is cooled off now. So we'll grab the thermometer. We'll check it real quick. We're down to 108 degrees. So you want to get down to at least 110. So obviously the reason we ran it up to 180 degrees in the Instant Pot was to kill all the unwanted bacteria. So because we killed all the bacteria, now we have to put some cultures back in the milk before we can make the yogurt. So we'll take the milk out of our water bath. I'll put it up on my towel. Excuse me if I turn my back to you a little bit. In an RV, not a lot of room. I'll dry out the pot because it's going to go back in the Instant Pot. Alright, so now what I have in this bowl is some of our yogurt from our last batch. So whenever we get down to a small amount like this, I make sure to make more. Actually, we waited too long, so I should have made more yesterday. So what I'll do now is I'll take 1 tablespoon of yogurt that we already made. I'm going to put it into a bowl. Then I'm going to take some of this warm milk, put it inside the bowl with the yogurt. I'm going to mix it up. Now, I suppose you could just take that yogurt and put it right in the Instant Pot container and mix it up in there. But for some reason in my mind, if I put it in here and mix it up, I know I don't have any clumps or anything like that. So, okay, it's all mixed up. I pour that into the milk. I'll mix that up again real good. So if you watched our video when I talked about how much we like our Instant Pot, I mentioned that we got it for mainly making other meals and not just yogurt. But we ate yogurt a lot. And then I realized how much money we saved in a year by making our own yogurt. Well, hang around to the end of the video and I'll share those numbers with you. I'll also mention right now that when we were warming the milk in the Instant Pot, that took probably close to 40 minutes to get it to 180 degrees. I took the milk right out of the refrigerator, put it in the Instant Pot. You saw me do that, put it up to boil. It took about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I guess. Now, I think it used to be quicker. I don't know, we've had this Instant Pot for over 4 years now. And I don't know if over time that heating element has gotten weaker. Because I could swear that when we first started making yogurt, it ran that milk up to 180 degrees a lot faster than it does now. But I never timed it. I could be wrong. But I think that heating element's gotten weaker over the years. But like I said, it is at least 4 years, if not 5 years old. Okay, that's mixed up real good. I'm going to move it over to the Instant Pot. So hang on, I'll be right back. Slap that back in the Instant Pot. Put the lid on it. Make sure the vent is on venting. We'll hit yogurt. We'll adjust it to normal. And this says 8 hours. And for tonight, that's going to work out well. And we'll let it do its thing. So, when you make yogurt, I've done some reading on this, and supposedly, the longer you let the yogurt incubate, the more tart the yogurt will get. Now they say you should at least let the milk incubate for 8 hours minimum. So typically what I do, I make it at nighttime. So there's not a lot of work involved. You saw me put the milk in, you saw me take it out and put it in the cold water bath, you saw me mix in the yogurt, you saw me put it in here, push a timer, and now it's got to wait for eight hours. So it's about 8:30 at night. So this will be done, what, at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I typically get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and then I'll do my next stage. So it works out really well. So there's no work involved. While that thing's warming up, we can watch TV, do laundry, eat dinner, whatever we want to do. While it's cooling down, we'll do the same thing. And then as it incubates for 8 hours, we're sleeping. So there's no real work or time involved other than waiting. And I guess that's it for now. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Get a good night's sleep. Good morning. Well, I've been up all night. slaving over yogurt. Well, obviously not. Once I signed off last night, I watched a little TV, went to bed. As you can see, it says yogurt on the Instant Pot. So it completed at 4:30. Sorry. I got up my typical 5 o'clock. Ready to take the lid off. And we have yogurt. So at this point, you could actually take that and put it in whatever containers you want to, or just take that and put it in the refrigerator and let it cool, and you would have yogurt to eat. But Diane and I prefer Greek yogurt, so I will put that in the reefer. I'll let it cool as I have my morning coffee and breakfast, and then I'm going to put that into a Greek yogurt strainer. I'm going to come back and show you that in a little bit. I'm going to have some coffee. So, see you soon. Hey, hang around to the end, because you still want to see those numbers I want to share with you on how much money we're saving per year. And it's a few $100s. All right, we'll be back. All right, I did a great job of wasting a bunch of time this morning. I finally got back to taking care of business of yogurt. But you know what? That's one great thing about making yogurt. If you're not on a time frame, you don't have to be Johnny on the spot every second of the time and just hover over the project. But here I am. So now the next stage is, as I mentioned, you could eat this yogurt right now. This has been cooling in the refrigerator. You could do a bowl and eat this yogurt as is. But Diane and I like Greek yogurt, and really about the only difference of this yogurt and a Greek yogurt is you run it through a strainer and strain some of the whey out. So let's go ahead and dump some in, and then we'll go from there. This will probably be the time I dump this all over the counter now that I have it on video. Alright, so this doesn't all fit in the strainer that we have. So I do it in 2 stages. Not a big deal. So I will put both of these back in the refrigerator and let the whey strain out of the yogurt in this container. I don't think you can see it, but it will, it's starting to strain already. Now, when I first started making yogurt, I was really detailed. I wanted to make sure I was right here all the time to do it Johnny on the spot method, right? But as I found out, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. As the whey strains away, it changes the consistency of the yogurt, and you're going to find out how you like your yogurt. You like it thicker, thinner, whatever. You may find out that in 2 hours, enough whey has strained away that that's exactly the way you like it. I can't count the times that I put this in the refrigerator and don't get back to it until 4 or 5 hours later and find out that it's really thick. So I put it in my other container that we store it in, and I just dump some whey back in it, mix it in, get it the consistency that we like, and it's good to go. So that's it for this section. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator, let it strain for a while, and then I'll come back and we'll put this into a different container and we'll talk some more. Okay, so this yogurt has now been straining for roughly 4 hours. Yeah, I think it's been 4 hours now. So we'll take it out. I'm going to put it into a container, and then we'll put the other half of what wouldn't fit in here and strain it. Now this is plenty soft for us, so I won't need to add any of the whey back in. If you get sidetracked during the day and you find out that you forget about your yogurt straining for 6 or 7 hours, or maybe even overnight, don't worry about it. You just be able to take some of the whey that's in that container and mix it in. Not a big deal. When I first started making yogurt, I'd stress over that. I'd stress over everything. I wanted to make sure everything was perfect. You know, making yogurt is pretty forgiving. If you let it incubate for 8 hours, it's good. If you let it go for 10 hours, it's good. If you let it strain for 8 hours, it's fine. If you strain it for 10 hours or 15 hours, you just take some of that whey that's in here and dump it in there and mix it all up. No big deal. So, if you like it thicker than that, let it strain longer. It's really not rocket science once you get going. It may seem like it at first and seem daunting, but before long it'll be all second nature. Alright, so there are things you can do it this way. I've seen different articles on things you can do. What I do with it, I dump it down the sink or down the toilet, call it good. So, alright, I'm going to go dump this in the toilet, and we'll be back and show you the next step. Alright, so I went and dumped out that batch of whey. Now it's time to dump in the remaining yogurt that wouldn't fit in the strainer the first time around. Be sure and have a spatula handy. You'll need it to clean out the bottom of the pot. You don't want to waste any of it. Alright. So, that's the name of that tune. Put the lid back on. Put this back in the refrigerator, and this can strain for however long you decide you want it to. For me, we will probably let this strain for 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours, and then we'll move this into a new container. So we'll come back later and finish this up. Alright, so I have purposely waited 12 hours for this particular segment to show you how much leeway you have when you're making yogurt. So if you remember, the batch of yogurt I made was too big to strain it all at one time. So the first portion that we strained, we let strain for, what was it, 4 hours roughly. And this gives you an idea of a 4-hour yogurt. Now I will add that this batch of yogurt I made with whole milk. If you make it with whole milk, 2%, 1%, you'll notice a difference in how much whey is filtered out. So it all varies a little bit, but this is a batch made with whole milk. But you get an idea of how much, what the consistency is of 4 hours, right? Okay, so now this has strained for 12 hours. Now, I know for a fact that it's going to be way too thick for our liking, but I wanted to show you how simple it is to take care of that. So let me just dump that inside my bowl here. Now this strainer we bought off of Amazon, and we will supply a link down in the description in case you want to make some Greek yogurt and you want this strainer. I'm not going to take everything out of this pot right now just to save on time. I'll scrape the rest out later. So let me set that over here. But you see how much whey, this is how much whey came out of the 12-hour filtering. And you can see how thick this yogurt is after 12 hours. So that's too thick for us. But it's so simple. All you have to do, as you probably already know, is just pour a little bit of whey back in it. Not a big deal. So if you get sidetracked, you go out for a hike or go out for a drive or just have company come over and you realize, oh man, I let that yogurt strain for way too long. You just mix in some whey, mix it all back up, get it the consistency you like, and you're good to go. And then once again, once you have it to what you want, you just dump that extra whey down the toilet or down the drain and clean up and you're all set. So I'm not going to mix this up 100% because again, you know what's going to happen. It's going to make it nice and soft and just the way we want to eat it. So, alright, that's it for this segment. Now, the next time I come back, I'm going to throw some in a bowl, show you how we normally eat it. There's so many options though. And then I'm going to share with you our yearly savings that I've been talking about through this whole darn video. So come on back and check it out. I'll see you soon. Alright, so all there is left to do now is dish up a bowl of yogurt and enjoy it. Oh, and share those numbers I've been talking about. So, Diane and I go through a gallon of yogurt roughly every week to a week and a half. So for this video, let's just say every week and a half. That way we won't seem like we're padding the numbers. So if you go through a gallon of yogurt every week and a half, got some cheat sheets here. That makes it 4,437 ounces of yogurt per year. Now, when we were buying yogurt in containers, we would usually eat the Chobani. And if you buy the little containers, they cost you $1 if they're on sale for 5.3 ounces. If they weren't on sale, they're $1.50. But because we eat so much yogurt, we were also buying it in the 32-ounce containers. And that made it 17 cents an ounce. To where if you bought it in 5.3, it makes it 19 cents an ounce. So if you take the 32-ounce containers at 17 cents an ounce, at 4,437 ounces per year, that means we were spending roughly $754.29 a year for yogurt. Alright. Now I do the same thing with buying milk. So an average gallon of milk is what? $2.99 in the area we are right now. So $2.99 for a gallon of milk, doing the same equation of 4,437 ounces per year, that makes the milk is 2 cents an ounce. So in a year's time, we spend $88.74 to make our yogurt, plus electricity, right? So I'm just joking. So we spent $79 for our Instant Pot. We use it for a ton of other things. And now we save, you know, what, $620, 600 some dollars a year by making our own yogurt. And we know what we're putting in our bodies. We know what we're making in yogurt. It's just a great thing. So what we like to do, and there's so many ways, there's no right or wrong. We take our yogurt, we like to throw in a little flaxseed. That's good for the heart. We throw in a little bit of granola. Now, I tend to like the Love's Crunch granola. Diane likes the keto-friendly granola. It just depends what you like. We kind of change it up. So a little bit of granola in there. Mix that up a tad bit. I love blueberries. So I throw some fresh blueberries in, or strawberries. Diane likes raspberries. Whatever you like. And you have a nice, healthy, inexpensive bowl of yogurt. That is so good. Almost every morning I have this, and sometimes for lunch. In fact, that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to have this for lunch and a banana and an apple. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it didn't drag out too long. But you can tell if you just look at the sections where I actually was doing something other than just talking. It doesn't take any time to make yogurt. So that's it. Hopefully you'll hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you'll hit the like button. If you're looking for Instant Pot, or the yogurt strainer, or the thermometer, or heck, we even buy our Love's granola from Amazon. We're going to put links to that down in our description below. If you click on it and happen to make a purchase, in full disclosure, we will probably get a little kickback on that, but no big deal. So anyway, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.